Ceremonial welcome for Prime Minister Narendra Modi as Moscow rolls out the red carpet for PM Modi. Up next, he will be seen at the hotel in Moscow, wherein he will be greeted by a few people from the Indian community as well. So the Indian diaspora will be extending a warm welcome to the Prime Minister at the hotel, following which he will be seen at the private dinner, which is going to be hosted by President Vladimir Putin. Like I said, the next 24 hours have a lot to offer. Tomorrow morning is when the Prime Minister will address the Indian community in Moscow as well, following which there will be an exhibition and then the Kremlin summit. The highlight of the visit will be this summit, where the Prime Minister will hold comprehensive talks with President Putin. Let me go across to my colleague Siddhant, who continues to stay on with us. We've been repeating, Siddhant, for our audiences tuning in, that the next few hours is going to be a lot about optics, colors, a grand welcome for Prime Minister Narendra Modi before the two leaders get down to business and actually discuss the key issues concerning both the countries.
Well, absolutely. Since we are playing visuals of Prime Minister being accorded with a reception at the airport, so for the sake of our viewers, Prime Minister Modi was received by First Deputy Prime Minister of Russia, Mr. Denis Manturov. Mr. Manturov is a senior to the Deputy Prime Minister who received Chinese President during his visit to Russia. The first DPM Manturov will also accompany PM to the hotel from the car. Also, interestingly, I would like to highlight here that Prime Minister Modi's connect with Russia is not new. For the first time, he visited Russia when Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee was the PM, and he went in capacity of Chief Minister of Gujarat, and there was an agreement pact which was signed, protocol pact which was signed between Gujarat state and a province of Russia. In fact, there's a very interesting story. In 2009, he was again invited to address the 4th International Energy Week as CM of Gujarat, and he delivered a keynote at the 9th Russian Oil and Gas Week conference. CM Modi stumped the Russian businessman by giving the presentation in Russian. So, this this relationship with Russia is not new. He had a personal connect with President Putin also, but during his chief minister's tenure also in Gujarat, he was quite active, and there was a protocol pact also which was signed between the state of Gujarat and a province in Russia to cooperate in multiple sectors at that point in time. And 2009, he gave a presentation to a business delegation, and they were quite impressed with the presentation. So, those images, those photographs of Prime Minister Modi are very much available in public domain. So right now, Prime Minister Modi is headed towards the hotel. The Indian diaspora, Indian community is waiting for PM Modi to welcome him. They have been waiting for a very long time. And now, on his arrival, there's going to be meet and greet at the hotel lobby. This is what we could sense at this point in time. PM usually gets down from the car and meet people from the Indian community. So that is a very routine tradition that PM follows whenever he is abroad. And today also is going to do the same. After spending some time in hotel, he's going to go and meet President Putin, where President Putin has hosted a private dinner for Prime Minister Modi in his honor. So that's the only engagement Prime Minister has for today evening. Tomorrow morning, it's going to be many events. In fact, he's also going to visit an exhibition pavilion. He's also going to, for the wreath-laying at Tomb of Unknown Soldiers. He would hold restrictive talks with President Putin. Then there would be a delegation level talks with President Putin. And we could also expect a joint statement before PM will conclude this visit and when his second leg of this visit will commence, when he'll go to Austria. Back to you.
Okay, all right. So all eyes on the first visuals of the Prime Minister making his way to the hotel. And On the right side of your screens, you can already see the kind of preparations in place. Everybody's on standby, and a big cultural performance, in fact, has also been prepared at the hotel premises. In fact, Anand Siddhant was telling us a short while ago when he was reporting from the hotel lobby that a short while ago what he saw was a full dress rehearsal. So there's going to be a little bit of a cultural program as well for the Prime Minister as he arrives at the hotel. Siddhant?
Well, yes, absolutely. I mean, there is always Indian community whenever Prime Minister travel abroad, they wait for that day. And since he's in Russia today, Moscow has a sizable number of people from the Indian community. So they all are rehearsing since last so many days. In fact, they are preparing. There are also cutouts of Prime Minister Modi outside the hotel. They are holding Indian flags to welcome Prime Minister Modi. And whenever Prime Minister is abroad, he makes sure he gets down from the car, meet people from the Indian diaspora, clicks selfie with them, and then get into the hotel. So that's going to happen today also. There's a lot of excitement. He's visiting Russia after 5 years. Lot has changed. Geopolitical dynamics have changed, and this particular visit of Prime Minister Modi is very, very significant because this visit is sending out a very strong message to the world that it's not only West, it's also rest, and India will stand with its allies and friends, and that's the message that Prime Minister is sending out. India believes in strategic autonomy. India believes in taking decision what is required. We're not going to drag somebody else's line. So that's the clear message that Prime Minister Modi is sending out. And also interesting, I would like to mention here that after Russia, he's going to go to Austria. Now, Austria is considered as a neutral country in European Union. Austria is not a member of NATO. Austria has condemned Russian invasion of Ukraine, but has not cut off ties with Russia. So, the kind of country that has been chosen for the bilateral visit is also interesting. After Russia, he's going to go to Austria, and after listening to Russian perspective on war in Ukraine, he will also hear Prime Minister Modi will also listen the Austrian perspective, their story. What do they have to say on this ongoing war? And perhaps many are saying that Prime Minister could also Prime Minister could also convey to the Austrian side what Russian has to say on this war. In fact, I have managed to speak to somebody very senior, so that is also a possibility. So both in Russia and both in Austria, Prime Minister is going to hold bilateral talks, and in those talks, the Ukraine issue, the war in Ukraine, will be discussed.
And we'll have to wait until tomorrow to be able to confirm to our viewers what really transpired, the discussions that took place between the two world leaders.